Yeah, I'm really excited. Just evaluation and see what you got, and just to get the guys in a good frame of mind to have a good game tonight. I think they need to get on the ice and get the anxiety away and have some fun.
You spent a lot of time in meetings today versus
yeah.
skate. What was the purpose of the message?
Well, actually, I had pretty good practice yesterday. We have 4 games in 6 days. It's been a lot of, there's anxiety. A lot of their heads are spinning. I've been in those positions before, so I think nervous energy is better to stay in here. And I don't like the long meetings. We had a little bit longer today, but it's just because of the situation.
Players don't love back-to-backs, Rick, but a great evaluation.
Who doesn't like that?
Well,
I love back-to-backs. No, I swear to God, the second game's the best.
But I meant if you're traveling across country or whatever. But, but from an evaluation process for your staff to have back-to-back games and another one, how is that going to help you in terms of just to seeing what you have that quickly?
Well, I think back-to-back, you really test guys, the habits of guys. They do it in the first game. Can they do it in the second game? There's, short amount of time, rest, I get it. That's where the mental toughness comes in. We need you in this spot. Can you keep doing it? It's hard to do it every time, and I think that's one thing we really focus on here is last couple of days, we got to make sure you come to your spots every day and tracking changes, like the bad changes in the tracking is something non-negotiable for me, and that's something that we got to work on from tonight.
You touched on it yesterday about Gonchar and how he can help some of the guys in the back end, and talked to Quinn a little bit about this morning. Is there anything specifically that you're looking in Quinn's game that you guys would like to adjust? Well, there's just the thing with Sergei and Footy, they're detailed guys, and I think that he's going to really, I think Hughesy's going to love these guys. It's just little details like he's not a big guy. I don't want him to go crashing in there with some big forwards. It's the way you can defend with quickness, and I think that's where he's going to really benefit from Sergei and Adam.
Rick, bear with me on this question. You've been in a lot of situations, be it as a player or as a coach. Looking from the outside in, it's a very unique position for you because obviously you want to get this hockey team win. Yeah. But you're also taking over for a guy who's very popular. You're also looking at a knowledgeable hockey base that says, I don't know if I want to see this hockey team win this many games because ideally we'd like to finish top 5. Do you see it as a different challenge?
I mean, obviously, anybody's coaching title, you look at their record, right? It's a result-oriented business. And there's circumstances each coach has, right? So obviously, you're dealt the hand you're dealt, but the hand that I'm dealt it's the process. It's the way we do things. It's the way we become pros. It's the way we play on the ice, the commitment, without the puck, with the puck. It's the way you practice, how you prepare for practice. Those are the things that I really evaluate, or is something that's a major priority. And whether you win or lose, you got to start that foundation, and that's something I'm going to build. And then you go from there. I mean, I honestly, do I want to win every game? Absolutely. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. I want to win every game. But I will say the fact that there's a lot of work to be done with the foundation here. And that's what I'm really concentrating on. Well, you had a chance to talk to Bo yet, because he's not only your captain, Rick, but everything's swirling around him. He talked to us about he just wants to win. If you had a conversation, what was it like, and what have you come to appreciate about him in the short time? I don't know really Bo that well, but the first thing he came out of his mouth, he said to me, he goes, listen, wherever, regardless, I'm locked in. I'm your captain right now. And when he said that, you know he's a character guy. I've been in situations. Everybody's been in situations where you're going to trade deadline. Back in the day, everybody was on pins and needles. You just got to block out the noise, and he's a guy that's had a really good year, and he's a big part of the team right now. So, I understand where his position, but I love the fact that he says that he's locked in for me. It's really kind of character for a situation.
Given the circumstances that you're walking into, do you have a message for the fans?
Well, I mean, I don't know what else to say other than the fact that I'm here working my ass off every day, and I think I've got a really good staff, like a great staff, and the process is going to be there. This is a great market. I love coming here. This is a fun place to visit, like I told you guys. So, all I know is it's the way I played. You give 100%. That's all I can tell the fans I'm going to do.
Ethan Bear, will he play today?
I'm sorry?
Ethan Bear, I know that you've missed the last couple of days.
No, he's been off the ice for 3 days. He won't. There's a good chance he'll be in Seattle, though.
And you're starting goalie?
What's Greeny used to do?
You'll find out. You'll find out. How about you be you? How about you be you?
I'm not quite sure if I want to tell you guys. I got to feel you guys out first. I'm going to tell you.
What's a good follow-up to that is how do you handle your goaltenders? I mean, obviously, Demko's still out with an injury. Do you defer to Ian Clark a lot?
Yeah, Clarkie, yeah. I've had good relationships with goalie coaches before, and I kind of really rely on that. And I know Clarkie's a really good goalie coach from just talking to other people, so I'll rely on him a lot, and then what I see too.
You'd probably like to have a mini camp next week, but you're not allowed to have one. How do you approach next week, your staff?
I would give everything for a mini camp. Like I would give not half my salary, but I might give a little bit up for this training camp. Yeah, it's hands you're dealt that stuff, and I'm sure other teams are going to go through it. But yeah, one practice, and then you're not going to have next practice was in Jersey, pretty well. So that's a tough one, but you're going to promote mental toughness and physically. If the coaches can't complain because the players see that, so they got to make sure that they're ready to go.
Rick, what can you implement, given how little time you've had, in terms of changes to how this team plays?
To me, it's the play without the puck, and there's some little things like, a good change or a good track, a good back check. Don't dump your problems to somebody else. I think you can correct those every day. System is something I'm not too worried about. There's a few things I want to change. I don't want to change right now because I don't want to throw too much at these guys. But definitely the commitment to these little things are huge, and to win hockey games and be a good teammate. Why would I come off late? Give my problem to my other buddy. And it's just not the coaches' accountability. I told the players, I remember back in the day, if a guy doesn't come off and I got to jump on and got a back check, don't be afraid to give the guy crap. That's part of being accountable. Not just the coaches, it's also the players. So have that little bit of fire to be able to do that.
Are we going to see some different guys used on the PK already tonight?
Yeah, there'll be some guys there. Yeah, so it's definitely, my style when it comes to that. Yep.
One thing that's been interesting is at training camp, this club opened with Quinn Hughes playing a little bit on the right side. Never really saw that in a game that counted, right? By the time the preseason rolled along, he was back on the left. Is that something we might see over the balance of the season? Do you need to use some of the remaining 36 to get a sense for where guys can fit in long term?
Yeah, Hughes I'm gonna play him a couple of times on the right side. There's a couple of things I want to do with him. Probably have him out there more offense zone draws. A little more specific rules for some D, so they understand. But Hughes, we're going to move him around a bit. And there might be some guys get moved around in certain situations too, so they got to be ready.
One thing that's unique about this is we've had a chance to watch you analyze hockey all season.
Yeah.
And from the basic tenor of your analysis, I'd say you're one of 32 NHL head coaches that's a fan of heavy hockey, probably fair to say. This team may not be built necessarily to play that style, but are there things your players can do or lineup things you can do to narrow that gap?
Yeah, I think, if you're not a heavy team, you can still defend with quickness and brains. The year we won the Cup, when I was assistant with Pittsburgh, we didn't have the biggest defense, and actually Letang was out, but we defended with quickness and we defended with structure, and that's why we won. So you can overcome certain things. Yeah, would you like some big defense that can, 6 Cal McCarrs? I mean, that'd be unreal, but you don't have that. But you have players that if they have good hockey IQ and quickness, you can overcome certain things, for sure.
JT Miller at center, that's what you went with the practice yesterday.
Yep.
When he's played center to this point in the season, defense hasn't necessarily been the issue that the offense has, which is perhaps not what we'd expect based on Miller's skill set. How do you view it, and will he get, how important is it for you to know if he can be your answer down the middle by game 82?
Well, I think any coach, when you're behind a bench and, you got Pedersen, you got Miller, you got Horvat, and then you got Lazar. I mean, that's four good centermen. Excellent centermen. So I just feel that's right now. But that doesn't mean JT that won't play a wing on sometimes. I mean, listen, we got a tired group on the other side, and we got a face-off draw. I might put JT on the wing with one of the big guys. So you have to be ready for that, and good teams do that. So, but right now, when you look. And we got to get some wingers that can play. Don't get me wrong. We got to see some of these depth guys if they can play. I don't know if they can play. I really don't. But they got to show me that they want to stay in the NHL. What are they willing to do in their role? So that's something we're going to evaluate here in the next whatever games we have been coming up here. And we got some guys in the Myers that they might be coming up too. So it's an evaluation purpose time for me right now.